everybody, Peter here from the Esoteric Order of Gamers. Welcome. Very exciting stuff today. Look at this pile of goodies. Unbelievable. Yes, it's Tainted Grail. Whoa! Kings of Ruin. It's almost ruining my back picking it up, I can tell you. Amazing pile of stuff from the people at Awaken Realms. And before I start, I want to thank them sincerely very much for sending me this bunch of goodies to show to you. Now, I've done a lot of stuff for Awaken Realms over the years. I started playing and supporting their games way back with This War of Mine, and I've loved their games. They're so imaginative and there's so much cool stuff going on in them. You really feel like you get immersed in a completely different world, and that's one of the things I love about gaming, is being immersed in imaginative worlds. So over the years, I've done rules summaries for almost all of their games. I've done lots of videos, painting tutorials, unboxing reviews, all these kind of things. And most of the time I bought their stuff myself, though recently they've been very kind and started to send me samples for review. And this one, I was really keen to get the new Tainted Grail game because I loved the earlier one, though it did have some gameplay problems at the time. It could get a bit grindy, but the writing was so atmospheric and immersive. I really loved that. It was only the gameplay that stopped me from getting really deeply into the campaign. Now, apparently they've fixed a lot of those problems with this new set, and they've also updated the earlier edition as well. You can get an upgrade pack, which fixes some of those grinding problems that it had before, which is fantastic. So I was very cheeky indeed. I wrote to Awaken Realms, my contact there, and said, you know, I've done all this stuff for Awaken. How would you feel about sending me a set of Kings of Ruin? And very kindly they said yes. So after all that preamble, let's get into it. Thank you again, Awaken Realms. Let's check out what you've got. I haven't opened this yet, so we're going to be exploring it together. And let's just, you know, have a bit of immersing ourselves into other worlds of gaming. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to be a bit weird and go backwards and start with some of the stretch goal stuff. Now, I think this is the Excalibur Pledge. It's got sun-dropped figures, the pre-painted sun-drop effect. And we've got some extras here like the playmat and the upgraded resources pack. So let's have a look at the playmat. Now, it was only the other day I saw someone selling the playmat from the first edition, and I was almost going to buy it, so I'm glad I didn't, because there's one right here. Let's have a look. Well, there you go. Very dark and mysterious, isn't it? And this should be really nice. I really like the way that it's quite dark because all the lovely artwork will pop off that really nicely. It's got spaces for all your cards here, and of course this is where you'll be traveling through the world. And it's got all these creepy ghosty hands popping out, grasping for you. I do like a good playmat. I don't know why. There's just something about the neoprene surface. It's really good to roll dice on. It's just a nice thing to play on. I know it's a bit indulgent. Probably not great for the environment, but it's pretty cool. Now, another thing we have is this camp miniature. And I hadn't heard anything about this, but it's pretty interesting. So, it comes in 3 pieces. Look at that. So, this bit is camp stage 1, or maybe that one's stage 1, I should probably say. Then you've got stage 2 that fits on top of it like that. And then you've got stage 3, which is the actual tent that goes on it like that. Isn't that cool? And this is the sun drop effect, of course, which is really nice. In fact, it's so nice, I don't even think I'll bother painting this. It just looks great as is. Now, this has a set of cards with it, which are the rules. As you can see, it's got 3 different stages of building, corresponding to those 3 different bits. Here are the basic rules, so it tells you how to work it. I don't know how to use this yet, but obviously add some more rules to camping, and presumably you can, you know, get more buffs if you build up the 3 different versions. Who knows? I will find out soon. Next, we've got this upgraded resource pack. Now, this is very self-indulgent indeed. It gives you, instead of your cardboard counters, you have these very nice plastic pieces, and they come in this nice tray. Look at that. Nice. So you've got small versions and large versions of each. So I guess these are worth 1 and these might be worth 3 or 5, whatever you want to do. So we've got experience markers, lovely little books. Isn't that cute? We've got reputation markers, little flags. We've got magic markers. It's a magic symbol. Of course, we've got wealth. This could be a little bit bigger, I think. They're really tiny. In fact, the one version ones are really, really tiny. And then finally, we've got food. Little loaf of bread. The little ones are like just tiny little segments of bread. So very cute. Again, self-indulgent, but nice to have. And you're going to be spending a lot of time in the Tainted Grail world, so, you know, might as well look nice. Now, this is really lovely, and I wasn't expecting this, but this is the Deluxe Exploration Journal. And look at this beautiful thing. Oh, check out the thickness of that. Now, anyone who says to you they don't work very hard over at Awakened Realms, you can just say, but look at this. It is insane. Look at this. So much stuff, so much reading. And also, what astounds me is that there's an app available which reads all this stuff out for you as well. But a beautiful book, ring-bound book, so it can sit flat. It's got this lovely debossed faux leather cover. Just absolutely stunning. The amount of work involved in creating this thing is astounding. I mean, there's a novel's worth of stuff here. They must have a lot of people working for Awakened Realms. I've got to say, this campaign did very, very well. It's currently up to 7.5 million US and almost 28,000 backers. So that is success. That is very successful. But wow, they're creating a lot of stuff. It's pretty amazing. So there we go, the beautiful expanded journal, really nice indeed. Okay, let's get into some miniatures. This is the Weird Encounters box, so all your monsters basically. And here they are. Ooh yeah. Now this is the sun drop effect, as I said, and these look absolutely gorgeous. I think this is the best sun drop effect I've ever seen. This is the first time I've seen a sun drop effect where I thought, I don't want to paint those. They look fantastic. So let's just look at some of these. Check out the detail and the way the sun drop is bringing out the detail. Pretty stunning. And also I love the colour. The colour's really good. And the other thing I really love about Tainted Grail is that the monsters are really unusual and interesting. You don't have sort of goblins and ogres and things here. You've got things like this. I mean, what is that? I don't know, but I don't want to meet it just with a sword. That's horrible. They're big and nasty. Even the little things are kind of super creepy. Everything's got so much character, and that's what I like to see. I don't like to see the same old generic fantasy things done over and over again. I want to see different things. And there's so much imagination in these things. Look at that. How creepy is that? Yeah. This is like some horrible arachnid witch thing crawling out of a cauldron. Incredible. It really reminds me of the whole Baba Yaga Russian mythology type of thing. This is kind of a weird headless knight, but it's okay on one side and then sort of all rotten on the other side. Amazing. This is a very dynamic pose. Just about to take a leap off that plank of wood. And then you've just got straight up horrific, horrible things like this. Check out this thing. What about that sun drop effect? Isn't that great? Absolutely love it. And then you've just got this little urchin. I don't think it'll end well. It looks innocent, but I bet it isn't. Yes, just have some of these innocent fruits. I bet they're not. I don't know what's going on here. It's weird. It's like a tortoise mixed with the two-headed bear dog thing. And look at that. Wow. So, some pretty amazing creatures here. I'm sure I'll be fighting some of them in the months to come. Love that sun drop effect. It looks really, really good. Well, it's time to check out the main box. Look at that. Absolutely huge. Kings of Ruin. Now, of course, I've got the original Tainted Grail. And as I said, I didn't get hugely through it because of the grinding aspect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plunge into this one and play this first, and then I can go back to the original campaign and enjoy that. So what have we got? Well, let's put the box over there and we'll go through this one by one. So I've got some cardboard. Now, I've got some of the monsters here, so we obviously don't need that because I've got the miniatures. So we've got a sort of gauge kind of thing there. Oops, look, it's just popping beautifully out. That's good. Lovely high quality job there. Now I think these are skill markers, or skill tiles. So they have the name of the different character there, and they've got a space for putting a cube, so you can mark it when you use the skill, which is great. So that's a really nice way of doing skills, better than cards. There's some more. We have a little silica gel pack, very exciting stuff. And here's our new rule book. Very nice, quite thin but still perfect bound, which is nice. Now I have of course updated my rules summary and reference, and I've done it with the version 2 of the first edition of the game. So I'm going to go through this and check it again and make sure that I'm fully up to date. It looks a bit different, but the skill tiles perhaps. I don't know, but I want to update my summary for sure and my reference. So you will only have to read this once, or not even once. You can just use my rule summary and go through that, and use that instead of having to go through this whole book. But it looks like there are quite a few changes here, actually. But yeah, combat pool tracker there. That's what we use that tracker for. Very interesting. Diplomacy affinity tracker. Really interested to see the changes that are made to the rules. It's going to be interesting. So we'll get into that. As is very common for Awakened Realms games, we've got a start here document, because sometimes setup is a little bit tricky and quite complex, but that takes you through the steps. Setup visualization, which is nice. Unpack the decks. We've got an exploration journal. This is a stretch goal exploration journal. Oh, this is so exciting, isn't it? I just love unpacking new stuff like this. It's really cool. I still feel like a 12-year-old when I do this kind of stuff. I'm a bit long in the tooth now, but I'd still get thrown back to being 12 years old. And just that excitement of unpacking a game, even when they were really, really basic games back then, like Ghost Train and Haunted House and everything. And I still get really excited about it. It's fun. It takes me right back. One of the reasons I keep playing. So this is stretch goal. So let me see. It comes with some models, some paper components, cards. So the stretch goals box. So obviously they haven't put the stretch goals in a separate box. They've packed it all into this huge one, which is cool. So we've got the Lost Chapter, Knight's Wager, Lost Chapter, Quest for Igraine's Tomb. That's really cool. So that might be a nice way to get started, is just to do one of these, single chapters instead of getting into the full campaign. So that's all our stuff. We don't do any spoilers. That's the exploration journal for those. We have got the classic secret envelope. Do not open until instructed. Oh, seal yourself. What's next? I keep delving into this box and bringing out treats. Elgain the Candle Maker. Well, that's his background material. I guess maybe there's one for each character. We get these lovely sheets. Oh no, there's a few sheets in there. There we go. So this is the sort of character stuff that you read when you start the game after you pick your character. We've got a little pad of status sheets, so you can keep track of statuses during the game. And oh look, expanded player notes on the back. There is a save sheet. There we go, so you can save your games as you go along. Lost Chapters status sheet, Knight's Wager and the Quest for Igraine's Tomb. Wow, it just goes on and on. Don't know what this is. Oh, it's a lovely little sketchbook. How nice, or a notebook with little sketches in it. How sweet. Nice little extra treat. Gold foil and everything. I mean, I do graphic design for board games a lot of the time, and I know how much effort goes into just creating a simple game, let alone something so complicated as this. Into the Mists progress sheets. Yeah, lots of progress sheets. And then we've got special sheets for each of the characters as well. Wow. Okay, oh, now here's the original exploration journal. So I won't be needing that now, so I've got the lovely deluxe version, but there's the original. I like the way they've packed it so it protects everything with, so the ring binding doesn't damage anything. That's great. Then, back to the box, get rid of this foam, we're getting into our plastic trays. So, here's the first one. It's also beautifully packed. I certainly don't have to come up with custom foam core inserts for these, that's for sure. So here are our character sheets, and these are lovely double layer thick ones. Let's just rip that shrink wrap off, and look at those, they're really thick. Lovely. Now, does this piece come off? No? Yes, it does. Look at that. There we go. These are much nicer than the original sheets. Clicks into place beautifully. That is stunning. Wow. Very, very nice indeed. So we've got Gerdwin, Elgin, Osbert, and Eunice. Wow, very impressive sheets there. Oh, look at this. This is a special viewer, and you use this in the exploration journal. It's the classic thing. They use this in Nemesis as well, where you can use look through the red to see secret messages, which just takes me back to being 12. Let's face it, it's fantastic. It's got that lovely textured background around it as well. It's really nice. Some nice plastic counters. Three dice. And look, more miniatures. Beautiful. Look at these. These must be our character ones. Oh, look, I love this sun drop effect. It's fantastic. I just don't think I can ruin this by painting them. I mean, I'm an okay painter. I've done it for a long time, but these are just so nice. And they have that kind of epic feel, don't they? I love the colour. I really like the colour. Now, I think these are our waystone markers, which I think in this game is our equivalent of the menhirs that were in the first edition. I love how they're smaller. The menhirs before were so big and they sort of blocked the view of the cards and everything. So it's good that they're smaller. So there's a whole bunch of lovely miniatures in here. Look at that creepy guy. Great stuff. So, tray number one. Oh, hold on, there's some, of course, cubes as well. There we go. Tray number one. And here's tray number two, which is the big one at the bottom. And you can see a gazillion cards and spaces to put them in. Now, I wouldn't sleeve a game like this because there are so many cards and it would just cost you a fortune. But you can, of course, as part of one of the add-ons, you can buy all the sleeves. I figure I sleeve a lot of games, but I usually sleeve games where I'm shuffling the cards a lot and using them a lot. And these ones you're often going through and you're just looking for particular cards. Maybe sleeving just the combat cards would be good because you use those a lot. And the other thing I love about this game is the combos of combat cards you have. You've got a system where you can link cards together in combos to do things, which is great. These, of course, are going to be all the cards that make up the land you'll be travelling over. All artwork on them, wonderful. little cards here for equipment and things. I won't go through all the individual cards because there's just so much stuff, and I don't want to spoil anything as well because there's so much. You've got some nice dividers and everything too, so you can organise that. So I'm going to have a lovely afternoon doing some card organisation, which all of us gamers love to do. We've got some big minis here. Check out this guy. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Another one here. I can't even imagine meeting these in combat. They'd be just so difficult to beat. Look at that. Well, folks, I don't know about you, but that was just so much fun. I love unboxing stuff like this. I can just see this huge world that I'm going to disappear into with Kings of Ruin. Awaken keep churning out amazing, amazing products. And so much work, so much writing. And the quality of the writing is so good. That's what I really noticed when I played the first Tainted Grail game. I remember having the first few encounters and just going, oh, wow. I mean, I'm really imagining this. I think it was some huge fallen monolith statue, like Titan-sized, that I was crawling over or something. And I could just see myself there. It was just so evocative and original. And I find it frustrating when you're playing some fantasy game and you're just sort of going, oh yeah, I've kind of come across this before, or I've seen it in a film, or it's, I read it in a book. And these things were just like, where's all the creativity coming from? It's just spilling out onto the page. So much was happening. So how they've managed to come up with a whole set of new encounters and a whole new original campaign, I just can't imagine how they do it. Whatever they're taking, I'd like some of it. So folks, I hope you've enjoyed this look at Kings of Ruin. I'm going to do more stuff about this. I'm going to update my rule summary and reference, of course, and talk more about this when I've had a chance to get into it more. I hope you come with me on that particular journey. But whatever journey you're on, I hope you're very well and enjoying it. And I will see you next time. Check out my website, orderofgamers.com, where you can find the rule summary and reference for Tainted Grail. Well, at least version 2, the updated version of the original Tainted Grail. There'll be one for Kings of Ruin as well. Check me out on social media as well and subscribe if you haven't already. And I've got a Patreon channel too. See you next time, folks. Bye.